us.
Okay, that's great news, because the way the ordinance, I think the item was written, it was a little ambiguous that we're changing the scope, and I was like, what is the change in scope? Like, are we adding anything in? And the follow-up question is, in the original scope for the municipal complex redevelopment, we didn't have the DPW space. So is that something that's going to be added on, or when do we plan to do that?
We haven't had any sort of discussion about that side. I think we're just trying to get through phase 2. And now that it's the last few days, we're starting to move along again, get the asbestos remediation done, get the building done, and then repave. Maybe that's something we can revisit. But I think I speak for everyone here. We just haven't had a conversation. We're just trying to get through this one.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I see no other questions.
Right, I move to close the citizens hearing.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. Brahimai?
Yes.
Mr. Kudo?
Affirmative.
Mrs. Kingsley?
Yes.
Mr. Madero?
Yes.
Mr. Varneren?
Yes.
Mr. Yellen?
Yes.
Okay, move to open the Township Council reports, I guess.
Okay, good. Deanna, you're first up.
Hi, first of all, I wanted to also offer my deep condolences to the Kirsch family. I've known Steve and Sarah personally for a long time myself, and I know the years that Mrs. Kirsch has served into our Board of Education and all the volunteer work that she's done. So I'm, deeply thankful. I've lived in this town for 21 years, so I know her involvement in town. I've raised my kids in the Berkeley Heights Public School, so I just wanted to thank her for the year of for all the service to the schools in our town, and again, just offer my condolences. Secondly, I just want to mention really quickly that the Mayor's Youth Council, they had another book sale this Sunday from 12 to 4. They're still working on more initiatives, so stay tuned for those. As far as the Communication Committee, Communication Committee met on June 9, and we all decided on, we elected as chair of the committee, Athena Sapir, and the secretary is going to be Christina Chioffi. I'm not sure, Christina, I'm sorry if I mentioned, if I say the last name wrong. But anyway, these ladies are fantastic. They've been doing a great job at the communication committee, and I'm sure Pam would be very proud that Athena is going to actually replace her. And they are fantastic, and I'm pretty sure that they're, I'm looking forward to working with them. Also, the June newsletter, actually the senior newsletter went out on June 10th.
It's not the senior, it's just the overall.
I mean the newsletter, yes, I'm sorry. Thank you, Jean.
You're welcome.
So yes, went out June 10th. So it was distributed on June 10th. Also, the mayor appointed Jim Skidmore, who was part of the communication committee. He's going to be he's now part of the senior affair committee. And, we're working together. He's going to, work with the seniors affair committee to work on content as far as the Berkeley Heights Governor Livingston TV, what seniors want to see in there. So stay tuned for that. We're also, we discussed several ideas when it comes to what content the seniors would actually like to see on the Governor Livingston TV. Also, the committee discussed working with the township administrator, and providing some updated content to the website as far as all the new redevelopment projects going on in town. It's been a long time. A lot of projects have started. Some are in the middle. Some are, close to finish. So it'd be great to just give an update to all the residents, so they're better informed on what's going on in town. We also discussed a potential coffee and conversation, and this time it's going to be between Jean and I and the mayor. We haven't decided on a date. We just wanted to get an idea of when would be a good time to have the coffee and conversation. We're potentially thinking in September. Summer is around, schools are going to be out, and everybody's going to be away on vacation. So maybe potentially when everybody's back in September after Labor Day. But we'll make an announcement on that, and so stay tuned. And that's about it.
Okay, excellent. Keep me posted on that date.
Yes.
Mandy?
Okay, well, let's see. I just want to remind everyone that the Mount Carmel Feast is back on, and it's going to run from July 14th to July 18th. and we're having fireworks again. So hopefully COVID keeps its ugly head down and everything goes forward as we plan. There have been no meetings with Peppertown Park, but we are in discussions with different items, waiting for the flood surveys and information to be done. And EDC is having the meeting the end of the month. EDC is also going to be discussing a technical review committee and how to help out developers coming into town. And I want to mention that Union County right now has a special program, basically. And you can nominate those small businesses that stayed open or did extraordinary things in times of COVID for the community and in Union County. All you have to do is send a copy of a photo and one paragraph line saying why you believe they did a great job. And they get mentioned and they get a certificate of award on the Union County website. So that's a nice, simple one that everyone can help out. It's ucnj.org/union-county-means-business. And that's about it. So short and sweet. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Annie. Alphabetically, Jean, sorry.
Okay, yeah, the planning board met on June 2nd. We reviewed the proposed ordinance introduced by the council. On May 18th, it was prohibiting the operation of any class of cannabis business within the township. It was voted 6-0 to find that the proposed ordinance was consistent with the master plan. Their next meeting is tomorrow night, June 16th at 7:30 p.m. The planning board is going to hear an application seeking a minor subdivision approval to consolidate 4 existing lots into 2 lots that are located between Springfield Avenue and Sherman Avenue. That's block 609, lots 2, 3, 12, and 13. People want to know what it is. It's like those lots that are right next to that gated and fenced-in church building at the end of Sherman Avenue there. It looks like there's parked cars and stuff in between where Station House Cafe was. There's 2 lots there, 2 lots on Springfield Avenue. They're looking to merge that into, there's 4 lots. They're looking to merge it into 2. In terms of downtown beautification, we met on June 9th. The concept plans for the municipal building interior decorations are almost complete. Draft is going to go to the working group of the Historic Preservation Committee any day, and then hopefully to the governing body next week. So pay attention to your inbox. The committee has worked on a proposed outdoor dining ordinance. We are hoping to present that to the council in the next week, so we could potentially have a conference session on that in July. Planning for Restaurant Week is underway. Committees met and received confirmations from 15 of our local restaurants that are anxiously looking forward to doing this again. We're going to continue to meet with the remaining restaurants over the next few weeks to hope to gain full participation from everybody. So stay tuned. We're targeting the month of September for Restaurant Week. The Safe Streets to Transit grant, which we just voted on as reso. The mayor, myself, the administrator, the engineer, and some of the police department met last week to discuss potential grant options. After that, we reached out to a contact at the state. And based upon those findings, we've agreed that we're going to go after a grant requesting lighting on the north side of Springfield Avenue, west of Plainfield Avenue, and new sidewalks as well on that side. With all the projects that are coming in that part of town, including Berkeley Crossing, the new bakery on the corner of Plainfield and Schneider, and the fact that it's dark and hard for residents in that part of town to get to the train station, we think we have a compelling story for the grant. The grant is due July 1st, so stay tuned. Safe routes to school. We did meet last week with the PTO committees and our state representative last June 10th to discuss how to be ready for the grant application this October. The PTO committees have agreed to finalize some school travel plans. That's a key element needed to win a grant. We're going to do some walkability audits along any of the schools we think will be impacted for the potential grant over the summer. So we should be in good shape to have hopefully a good, solid potential award-winning grant for that in the fall.
All right.
Can I ask a quick question, Jean?
Sure.
Are you guys going to do a survey when it comes to the collaboration with the PTO and the, for the, walkability to schools?
Well, they do the walk. It's the audit is a very specific thing where you're doing the grants, you actually have to have parents and people that use those trails walk the trails and rate them. There's a form, there's a scale, and absolutely, yes, it's going to be. I've actually reached out to some residents also that walk some of these paths to ask them to participate as well, in addition to just the schools. But yes, there's paperwork involved in it.
And I have another question for you.
They take
Successful people look forward, because especially right now,
That's the new marijuana law. So with that, thank you again for joining us tonight. And I look forward to seeing some of you at our next in-person council meeting. On behalf of the Township Council, Stay well and be safe. And now back to our agenda. We have several presentations tonight, some of my favorite things. Certificates of achievement to 3 Eagle Scouts. I'm going to start.
Okay, I thought we were talking about weed for a minute there. We
it's
started
a
talking
great
about weed, then we
longer-term
not.
idea.
Okay.
I don't think
We're not talking about weed right now.
doable. And we're going to do restaurant month, not restaurant week, just because the restaurants are short-staffed and we can't handle the influx of people for a week. So until all of this labor issues settle down across the state and hopefully the country, I don't think we can do anything any grander right now.
Okay. All right, good report. Thank you, Jane. Alvaro?
Thank you. The Environmental Commission met last Monday, June 7th, but I was unable to attend, so I have nothing to report. The Grants Committee met on May 27th. We have a good news, bad news story. The good news is that the Grants Committee received an award of a 2021
ARP community grant for $15,000, $15,090, which is for the Trailblazer project. The award is to design, print, and display 4 enlarged maps of public walking trails in Berkeley Heights, weatherproof structures at 4 central locations in town. One at the new municipal complex, one at Columbia Park, another at Snyder Park, and the last at the YMCA. The goal is to increase walking, promote wellness, recreation, inclusiveness, social connection.
Promote wellness.
Promote
wellness.
Intergenerational volunteers will be solicited.
Promote wellness, he says. He says.
Trails, such as distance, difficulty, surface type, stroller, wheelchair, walkers, mobility, rest stops, and lighting. These features for each trail will be displayed in a legend on the map. The map will also be printed in paper in English, Spanish, and Mandarin, and available in a bin attached to the map structure. A community event will be held following installation of the structure to unveil the trail map. Walking and running clubs will be established to promote social connections to trails through outreach to residents via the senior club, recreation department, communications committee, schools, township website, newsletter, Facebook, Twitter, and local news sites. Bad news is that we were not awarded the Peppertown Park grant, but we used to have had the opportunity to submit. The Senior Affairs Committee met on May 26th. Representatives from Summit Health attended to discuss and hear from seniors what lecture topics might interest seniors. Following that meeting, Summit Health has arranged for a presentation on July 23rd entitled Societal Reentry / Safety Post-COVID, to be held and presented at the multi-purpose room in Town Hall again on July 23rd. The senior survey has elicited 100 responses to date against a drop quantity of 1,700, or at about 5% response rate. We're hoping to get more, which can be dropped off at Town Hall or at Park Edge. Debbie Littman and I will be meeting with Jim Skidmore, Communications Committee, tomorrow to discuss programming for seniors and get that underway at the That's all that I have for tonight.
Okay, thank you, Alvaro. Jeff?
This will be a quick one. Today is Elder Abuse Awareness Day. And I just want to call upon everybody to pay special attention to family members, friends, and neighbors. Abuse can be right out in kind of plain to see, but unless you're really looking for it.
Like when you deny medicine to people, when you take their medicine away, that's elder abuse.
A subgroup of the Truth and Racial Healing and Transformation Committee met last Friday to discuss in more detail the Cultural Awareness Street Fair. More details to come. Next meeting of the full committee is scheduled for the 28th of June. I attended the Pride event last Friday at Lower Columbia Park. I want to thank the YMCA, Diversity Council, and Saga for planning and running a really well-attended community event. This past week marked 1 year since the March for Black Lives here in Berkeley Heights. Yesterday, the Diversity Council hosted a live talking session at Upper Columbia to further drive home and keep alive change in our community. Thank you to the Diversity Council for continued leadership on this front. Congratulations to all the graduates. CMS was today, GL is tomorrow, so big day for all those children and their families. And lastly, Father's Day is coming up this Sunday. Please take time out of your day to remember and honor that special dad in your life, whether it's living or deceased.
Are you just asking for a friend, Jeff? Or are you reminding your family to get you something really good?
They're not even listening.
Fair enough. Stephen?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. For my report, Councilman Braham, a quick question. I know the Youth Council had a book drive on Sunday outside Columbia. Are they doing another one this Sunday?
No, this Sunday. Not that I know of that schedule. Or is it, Angie? Correct me if I'm wrong. Not that I know of. No. Yes. Okay.
Well, I was at the book drive. I bought some books, and they said they have nothing planned yet, but they keep an eye on their site or keep an eye on Facebook.
Yeah, they're going to continue to do it, but they don't have another one planned for this Sunday.
Okay, great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so quick updates from me. The Memorial Park Renewal Committee. I'm very happy to report that the Memorial Park Renewal Committee's fundraising drive has been highly successful, with over 100 donors to date, including many from our community. We are still accepting donations, so please reach out to me if you have any questions on where and how to donate. The Historic Preservation Committee met on June 3rd and had continued discussions on the progress of restoring and rehabilitating Littell Lord Farmstead. Tonight's vote that we had to hire an architect for the next crucial stage of rehabilitation is a big step forward, but additional funds are needed for the whole project to be completed. So the Historic Preservation Committee is launching a community fundraising drive to help us reach that goal, and we welcome all community members who wish to support it. We're looking to raise an additional $5,000 from the community. We're setting up a GoFundMe page, and we should be having a big public push in the very near future. So again, please reach out to me if you have any questions or wish to donate. I attended several events across our community in the last few weeks, including the YMCA Pride Day celebration, the Han Academy's Dragon Boat Festival. Councilman Medeiros and I simulated a dragon boat race. We valiantly lost to a 6-year-old. Just didn't have the coordination right, Alvaro. I also took part in a charity softball tournament in honor of my late friend Ryan McAdam. And there was a concert led by students from the local arts organization, Performing Arts 5678 at Delicious Heights. I want to give a big shout out to all of the students in that group for their wonderful performance, and to their owner, the owner of the academy, Jessica Lombardi, for successfully launching the organization over the past year. That concludes my report, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. On to administration reports, the mayor's report. So Congressman Malinowski toured our local business community last week, getting feedback from them on the CARES Funds administration and the challenges ahead. Many of the council people joined us, Jean, Manny, Stephen, thank you for that. I think it was successful. He also toured the area of the West Side Drainage Project and has added it as one of his top 10 federal appropriation priorities, so fingers crossed. Administration also met with our professionals on a conference call with Moody's, who is preparing the bond rating memorandum, which is due out, I believe, next week. We got some really good feedback from our analyst on the financial planning the township has undertaken in 2019 and 2020 to prepare for debt as well as ongoing budgeting. So that was good news. This is something that occurred just today. Our affordable housing attorney is in the process of drafting a resolution creating what he calls a Mount Laurel committee to begin to plan for round 4 for 2025. The members of the affordable housing committee will be the affordable housing attorney, the redevelopment attorney, affordable housing planner, township planner, a member of the planning board, the council president, Jean, and me. So hopefully in 2 weeks, we'll have that ready to go. Just to piggyback on what Manny said, the EDC subcommittee met with the videographer
who starts storyboarding a series of economic development PSAs promoting the township to encourage business. We're looking forward to a final product, hopefully in the fall. And also to piggyback
hi,
off
my name
of
is
what
Jeffrey
Jeff said.
King. I'm at 24 Elizabeth Parkway in Eatontown. I like what I've been hearing at your meeting. Appreciate that the Eagle Scouts do such great projects. Love that you're working to help Habitat for Humanity. And the Pride Proclamation is wonderful. Support that completely. So I attended the meeting just because I was curious about what you're doing with cannabis. I'm an advocate for medical cannabis. There's patients that really need access. So I'm glad that you have your minds open to helping out at least the patients who are sick and suffering. So I'll probably speak more on that later, though. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. And your point's well taken. And certainly what we're going to consider tonight is not a comment on support for or against medical marijuana. And we're not actually even thinking about that. We're referencing recreational marijuana and that nature. But thanks, Jeff, for your comments. Lefty Grimes, you have your hand up, I see.
Yes, good evening, Council. My name is Lefty Grimes. I'm with sativacross.org. We're a 501c3 advocating for disabled rights and for cannabis patients' rights. And I'd like to just echo Jeff King's sentiments to take care of the sick and the dying, disabled war vets. I spent some time with a disabled war vet over the weekend down in Long Beach Island, and he literally has an hour drive to get his medical cannabis. And it's we need to take care of the sick and the dying. Brian Stack, a lot of Republicans like to talk about Brian Stack and say, well, he voted as a senator for legalization, but voted as a mayor against it in his town. That's not entirely true. He voted against recreational cannabis in Union City, but he voted for medical cannabis. He voted for the patients. He has compassion for the sick and the dying because both of his parents were in wheelchairs and both of his parents had cancer. So Brian Stack does have compassion, and he did legalize a medical dispensary in Union City. So I would ask the same of you guys to please just consider medical cannabis for the sick and the dying. And I'll speak more on this later. Thank you very much. And it was a good start to the meeting. I love to see proclamations and Boy Scouts. I love it. This is great stuff.
Great, right? Yeah, we should start every meeting with our scouts. Lefty, again, your points are well taken, and just keep in mind that chief among our reasons for considering the action we're going to do tonight is that, frankly, the regulations haven't been fully written out. We don't understand, and we don't truly know what it would look like to have a distribution center or a production center. Once those regulations are out and we're able to study them, we can make a more thoughtful decision. So, I mean, that's the way you should be thinking about it.
Can I ask what regulations you're looking for specifically?
My understanding is that the regulations that would govern how distribution centers and production would be located in the town. Our council, Tony Bucco, may be able to add some color to that.
Yeah, I think that, there's both of the members that spoke tonight from the audience are correct. There are two separate things. One is recreational use and the other is medical use. Under the recreational statute, the state provided for the appointment of a commission to deal with establishing the regulations on how cannabis would be distributed around the state, how many licenses and those type of things, and how hours of operation, and a whole host of other things that still have to be decided in terms of distribution centers, manufacturing, retail establishments. And that commission, I think, has only met a couple of times and still has a long way to go before it begins to promulgate the regulations necessary for, the final regulation of this new industry. So most towns have decided that until those regulations are promulgated, they're going to take the approach of prohibiting all uses in the town until such time as those regulations are promulgated, and then they can make an educated decision as to where it might be appropriate within a town to have a facility, if at all. So that's why most towns are doing that, and I think it's a prudent approach because it gives the township the opportunity to later, once the regulations are established, to come back and address this issue, knowing all the facts as they will be established over the coming months.
Thanks, Tony. And keep in mind that once we give some thought to developing these ordinances, the public will have an opportunity to comment again on those proposals. So more to come on this. Does that help you, Lefty? unless
Yeah,
the state, unless the state decides.
Unfortunately, we don't,
that we don't.
unfortunately, at this time, we don't know whether or not
Yeah.
that'll be given to the towns to regulate, or whether those regulations will be established at the state level. So, you know, we're really not going to know till the commission does its job and promulgates the regulations necessary to effectuate the new law.
We won't know until the state.
We don't know until the state
Until the state
promulgates
issues those.
those
I mean, that's the
regulations.
concern among municipal officials, that is that how do you write ordinances for your community if you don't know what the state regulations are? We'll get to it. Thanks a lot for your. Anyone else like to address the council this evening? No, with that, I'm going to close the public session. See anybody else? And move on to reports of council liaison representatives, council committees, and new business and old business. And I will start with Councilwoman Jackie Albert.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, number one, it's great to be back in person. I've missed seeing everybody. Second thing, we had a beautiful Memorial Day ceremony. I thought it went very well. Last minute put together. Michelle O'Halloran just did a wonderful job. Last week, our Roxbury Rotary Club took a field trip out to the incline plane number 2 East, and we're going to be doing a service project over the coming year to help, in addition to the county, help fix it up, get some vegetation removed, and get it looking really nice again. So that's one of our upcoming Rotary projects I'm very excited about. Both senior citizens groups have met back in person again, and that's also very exciting. They're just thrilled to be back. I want to talk a little bit for a second about our chief of police who is not here today. I just want to say, last weekend, there was a memorial service for Sergeant Gary Sweeney, a retired Roxbury police officer. And for whatever reason, our police department was not notified that the memorial service was going on. And I reached out to the chief and I said, did you know about this? And he said, no, I'm away for the week. I'm away for the day. I'm not even home. And I said, okay, we'll figure out what to do. Now, mind you, this was on Route 46 at Rosie. So we're thinking parking issues and blah, blah, blah. I'm at the memorial service and there is our chief in full uniform in the blazing 95-degree sun directing traffic. He left his wife's 51st birthday to come and do this for his sergeant. He knew Gary from growing up just down the street. And I just thought that, you know, that and the fact that at the Memorial Day ceremony, the chief was carrying the American flag. He is a born and bred Roxbury person. And I think he just makes a great chief of police, and he's a great role model for everybody coming up to really, I mean, honestly, to leave your birthday party to come and direct traffic in 95-degree heat. So I just wanted to put that out there on the record for Chief Colanchi. Habitat for Humanity, the Sign A beam was so much fun. We have a memorial service for Rich Zojak coming up that I'm sure Deputy Mayor will talk about that. Coming up on June the 27th at the Horseshoe Lake Pavilion, Roxbury Rotary, in conjunction with Maya's Mission and Kindness for Christopher, is having a rock painting party where you'll get to paint the rocks with all kinds of kind messages on it. They will then be dispersed about town. And this is all free. There will be some food. So come out and paint rocks and spread kindness. And last, but certainly not least, congratulations to our girls softball team. And that's it. Thank you. A lot of pent-up energy there.
Thank you, Councilwoman. And listen, your comments about the chief are well taken. He's fantastic, and you see him show up everywhere. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty.
Exactly. He's out there directing traffic when necessary. It just shows he's an absolute leader for his department. It
And the
shows
community. And the community. So,
yes, absolutely.
thank you, Councilman Crowley.
There, if next time I could go before Jackie, she's awful hard to follow. I'll touch again on Memorial Day. It was fantastic. I also want to thank Home Depot, as I think we all know, for years, Home Depot has, before Memorial Day service, put down mulch and flowers and really beautified the area that we have the Memorial Day speakers and stuff. And it's just fantastic, their outreach for the community. We did have an open space meeting this week. And what I want to report is we are working on the master plan, which includes, of course, open space, trails, etc. And we're working towards that, plus a number of different trails. I think you'll see an ordinance on tonight for one of them. Also attended a number of Lake Commission meetings, Lake PACON. As everyone knows, I talk a lot about it. I think it's important that there's 4 towns, 2 counties. We're trying to do weed harvesting. The state parks does not want to be involved now in the weed harvesting anymore. And so now it's up to the commission to go ahead and start to do the weed harvesting. So we're discussing ways of how we can get some weed harvesting done this year. As we all know, none was done last year at all. In mind of that, the Lake Commission, myself, and our councilman have been working on a plaque for Curtis Mulch, who was in an accident, a weed harvester. We have a plaque ordered. We've asked for contributions from the different towns and counties. And I would like to ask Roxbury tonight if we can get a contribution of $150 towards that plaque.
John, you see a problem with that? Anybody on the council have a problem with that?
No, I think we can make it in the form of a motion, and I would make it in the form of a motion, and then we can get it on for approval.
Mark, you want?
I'll make it as a motion that we have $150 towards the Curtis Mulch plaque, which will be put at Lee's Marina.
We got a second from Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's all I have for today.
Councilman Crowley has really worked tirelessly to get this tribute to Mr. Mulch in the park. And it's a real credit to him that he followed up. And it wasn't that easy to do. You had to get a lot of towns involved. So just a very nice thing to do.
Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Fred Hall.
Thank you, Mayor. It is certainly good to be back, ladies and gentlemen, live and seeing my colleagues. Listen, a special thanks. You don't hear it much, but it hasn't been easy this year being mayor. And Bob has done just an exceptional job of navigating the town through this pandemic. And I think I speak for just about everybody here. What a great job you did, Bob. And I know there's still some to go, but you deserve a lot of credit for everything you've done.
No, thanks, Fred. It's a real team effort. This council does a great job working together. Thanks.
One of our unsung heroes happens to be sitting all the way down on the left-hand side over there. The ability to put together an IT structure to allow for this type of meeting, handling problems. Just a great shout out to Rob Tunkin. Rob, we couldn't have been able to do half of the stuff if it wasn't for you. I know you spent countless hours. Rob has a day job, and he has been working countless nights in order to make these meetings occur. So congratulations to Rob. You heard a little bit about it from Jackie a little while ago about the celebration of life for Rich Zoshak that will occur this Saturday in the Rotary Pavilion at 1 p.m. at Horseshoe Lake. As everybody knows, we lost Councilman Zoshak a little while ago, and this will be a very nice send-off for Rich, who we miss very badly. Man your pens, a lot of activities at Horseshoe Lake. Talked about the 19th for the Zoshak celebration of life. On July 8th will be the Try Harder Triathlon. Notices will be going out as of tomorrow, and we hope that's a nice event. We didn't have it last year, obviously, for obvious reasons for the pandemic, but we'll be having it again this year. On August 13th, there will be a fireworks display. I'm going to be working with the mayor on actually naming it correctly, but I think the mayor wanted to also have some appreciation that night for all the people during the pandemic that helped out. In addition to that, Imagination Station, I want to give an update on that. We worked with DPW on this, figured out exactly what we need to do. And it looks like it's going to be October the 2nd is going to be the date. Anybody that's interested in helping out with painting, moving mulch around, things of that nature, please contact Brett at Recreation, Brett Douglas, and we'll put you on a team in order to get that accomplished. So we got Imagination Station on October 2nd. We've got the fireworks on August 13th. We've got the Tri-Harder on the 8th. We've got the Rich Soshak Celebration of Life on the 19th. And I just want to echo also what a great job Memorial Day was, to put that together in such short order. I think I've pretty much said enough. Oh, and one last thing. Can't end with this. Mayor was right in regards to both the boys and the girls. Boys made it all the way to the county final this year. This is our boys' high school baseball team. I mean, they lost 1-0 to Del Barton. It was a heartbreaker. But just to be able to get to that point was just a tremendous effort. They deserve an awful lot of credit. And they made it into the quarterfinal round, but also at the state tournament. So tremendous accolades to them. Now for the girls, we finally got to see them at our landing facility. They played great there. They were finalists for that tournament, and they brushed that off and went on to win the state sectional title. That is just an amazing accomplishment. They deserve to be there. They beat a lot of good teams. One of them happened to be the number 4 team in the state of New Jersey. So again, tremendous congratulations to them. And I think fitting of that, as we always do with state champs, if council is agreeable, Mr. Mayor, we should bring them in.
Let's bring them in. Very proud of them.
And with that, I am done. And thank you, man.
Thank you, Fred. Councilman Riley.
I got a lot. Let me start with Memorial Day. I'm done. Memorial Day, the signing of the wall at the high school, and all the different events that have been taking place have been great. And a big shout out to Roxbury softball, baseball too. But it feels good whenever one of our teams wins at a state level. It's been a little while since we've had one, so congratulations. Rich Soshak was mentioned. I do have some order of business with our newly selected council person, Sean Patillo, who leaves a vacancy on our planning board. So I would suggest that we move Vince Riley up from alternate number 1 to the unexpired term of Sean Patillo. And then Sean Patillo put forward a name, Bill Ryan. I've spoken to him. I don't know if any of the others have. Seems like he'd be a good fit for the board. So there's no problem. I'll put forward a motion to move Vince Riley to the unexpired term of Sean Patillo and to appoint what's my place here? Oh, Bill Ryan to the alternate 1 position.
And he's a Landing resident, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important to note that he's also a Landing. Can I have a second to that?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Sean. Any comment from council? Roll call, please.
Councilman Albrecht.
Yes.
Councilman Carey.
Yes.
Councilman Crowley.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Patillo.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor DiFilippo.
Yes. Anything else, Mr. Riley?
That's all I have to say.
Councilman Tom Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I really don't have anything this evening, but really just congratulations to our Eagle Scouts for a job well done.
Yeah. We have a great group of Eagle Scouts in Roxbury. And Mr. Patillo.
Well, thank you, Mayor. It is great to be back in chambers, and this is after all those years of sitting in the audience, this is my first time sitting up in the chair with a full council and Senator Bucco. So it's a great feeling to be up here, and I thank everybody for the well wishes that I've received, and thank you for that. So I do have a couple things. So as the school year winds down this year, I'd like to say great job to all the Roxbury youth that participated in our Roxbury recreation sports. They did a great job, and congratulations to all of you. I did see one situation this full season across all rec sports, and it was just a lack of volunteers for coaches and officials. So I'm just imploring anyone that has the ability and some time to volunteer in our community, please do. It's extremely important. I personally watched the coach of my daughter's team, Coach Scott Panetovich, turn the varsity junior girls across team into a bunch of girls running around the field into a powerhouse team. And that's the impact you can have as a volunteer in our community. It's just a positive influence on our Roxbury youth. So if you can, please reach out to the rec department and help out. Our recreational team could really use help. Also, Mayor, I met with the BSA Troop 159 last week, which is the same troop that our 3 Eagle Scouts you recognized earlier this evening are from. And I discussed a few items that they could use help with, but one item I wanted to bring up was enrollment in scouting is down. So if any young members of our community are interested in scouting, our Roxbury troops would love to hear from you. Parents, you can reach out to me directly if your children are interested, and I can point you in the right direction. I also met with PAC 159 for their blue and gold dinner, which is the step up from Cub Scouts to a BSA Scout. They did have 6 children that earned the Arrow of Light rank, and I presented them with the Mayor's Award of Excellence. It was a great event, and I hope to see these Scouts in the future when they do their Eagle Scout project. So it'd be great to see them on both sides of their scouting career. So great job to them. And then I just wanted to bring up for our residents the new traffic pattern in Route 46, Route 80, Landing Road interchange. Residents, please just be careful there. People are just not used to the new pattern, and it can be a little tricky. So just slow down and be careful there. And then last, Councilwoman Jackie and I took the DPW tour. So I just wanted to say to Mr. Blau, what a great department that was, well run, or as Senator says, a well-oiled machine over there. So it was nice. It was nice to see the department, and I'm getting a sense of different departments in the community. So it was great for us to get out.
That they needed it back in Polar or something.
Oh, there was something that they plugged.
They did hit us up for a few things.
No.
Yeah.
How did I know that? No.
Like heavy duty lifts.
Yeah. No, it was a great couple weeks.
Back end loader? No.
They didn't ask.
Something.
Not yet. As
It's
Councilwoman Jackie
I
told me,
promise
she
you.
would have taken it easy on.
There's no such thing as a free tour of DPW.
And that's all I have tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Storm. Good, Jackie. Oh, yeah. Do you have the dates for that, Andy?
do.
Well, please go right ahead.
I also want to remind everybody that on Saturday, June the 26th, our Veterans Cruise on Miss Lotta is back on for this year. So if anybody's around the Short Hills Landing area, come on down to Short Hills Country Club Beach around 11 o'clock. Miss Lotta should be over to the docks around 11:30. We're going to have lots of patriotic music going and just be there to cheer on our veterans.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
And Miss Lotta comes within a few feet of the lake to the Short Hills Country Club. Everybody's waving flags, and yelling at the people on the boat are yelling.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It's really a lot of fun. So, thanks for bringing that up, Councilwoman. That's important. Amy, anything? First of all, once again, these things, we take these things for granted. A smooth primary election, an in-person election after the challenges of the pandemic election. So I wanted to compliment Amy and her staff again for that. And do you have anything for us tonight?
Nothing further. Thank you for the kind words.
Thank you, Amy. John, anything tonight?
Nothing, Mayor. Thank you.
Mr. Bucco?
Thank you, Mayor. It certainly has been a while. It is nice to be back. We have experienced some trying times, but and we still have a ways to go. But I'm happy to report tonight that all is well.
Yep. Thank you, sir. Yeah, and we are taking an incremental and cautious approach, but come next meeting, we will be back in session with the public. So I'm excited about it. Thank you. Moving on to matters requested referred by council members, managers, attorneys, and clerks. A block party, Steam Place, Summit, Saturday, July 17th.
I'll move both 8A and B. And I'll second. And I think it's awesome that they're block parties.
I think so too. In fact, I'm thinking, talking to my neighbors about doing it. Is there a second for that?
I'll second. Sean.
I second.
Seconded. Sean did seconded. Any comment from council other than my comment?
Just looking forward to my invite.
Yeah. Yeah. Did anybody mention to these people they have to invite the council to these block parties? I'm just going to do raise the show. Who's in favor? Or you
All
want
in
to do a
favor is
roll
fine,
call?
sure.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Introduction of proposed ordinances. 2121, the capital ordinance of the Township of Roxbury in the County of Morris, New Jersey, authorizing the design and construction of Emmons Greenway to Veterans Park Trail, Phase 1, in, by, and for the township, appropriating therefore the sum of $289,613 and providing that such sum so appropriated shall be raised from the Morris County Preservation Trust Fund and from the township's Open Space Trust Fund. Can I have a motion to introduce this on first reading?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Mark. And a second. Okay. Any comment from council? Okay. Roll call, please.
And the second reading on this is June 29th. Councilwoman Albrecht.
Yes.
Councilman Carey.
Yes.
Councilman Crowley.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Patillo.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor DeFilippo.
Yes. Thank you. 2221, an ordinance authorizing the acquisition of certain real property known as Lot 12 in Block 9401 and located along McMullen Street in the Township of Roxbury, County of Morris, in the state of New Jersey. Can I have a motion, please, to introduce this in the first reading? Thank you, Deputy Mayor Hall. Have a second. Second. Thank you, Jim Riley. Any comment from council on this? Okay, Amy, roll call, please.
The second reading is also June 29th for this. Councilwoman Albrecht.
Yes.
Councilman Carey.
Yes.
Councilman Crowley.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Patillo.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor DeFilippo.
Yes, thank you. Hearing and adoption of ordinances on second reading, 18-21. An ordinance to amend Chapter 13 Land Development, Article 7, Zoning Regulations, Section 13-7.8, General Provisions for all zones, subsection 13-7.815, prohibited uses of the Code of the Township of Roxbury to include a new paragraph F to make cannabis establishments prohibited uses within the Township of Roxbury. Can I have a motion to open to the public? Thank you, Jim.
Second.
Thank you, Mark. At this point, we have a public hearing for this ordinance on second reading. Anyone who would like to address the council on this ordinance, please step forward, give us your name and address. Would anyone like to address the council? I see Jeff King has his hand up.
We have an all in favor for the motion and second. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Apologize, Jeff. Now go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate the dialogue we had earlier. Oh, Jeff King, 24 Elizabeth Parkway, Eatontown. Yeah, it's great that you guys value the medical patients, and I'm grateful for that. I just wanted to add that the AARP has endorsed medical cannabis with a whole issue of information about it like 2 years ago now, I think. My father is an Air Force veteran. He's a member of the American Legion, and they overwhelmingly support medical cannabis. There's a lot of information on their website about that. Yeah, I just think it's really good to consider the patients. But I also wanted to point out that it's 50 years ago this month that Richard Nixon declared the war on drugs. And we've really done a poor job with that overall. A lot of people that have suffered unnecessarily under this misguided attempt to just use morals to enforce racist attitude. So I think that if we can make it clear that we're not part of that stigma when we pass bans, that's helpful. And I think you have made that clear. So I want to commend you on that you're not pushing any reefer madness. I didn't hear any rhetoric that paints cannabis consumers, as Jeff Sessions did, as bad people. So I want to thank you for that. And I wish you success in your endeavor to find a fit for your community that is good for the jobs for local people and good for the real estate, the neighbors, and it's not necessarily a corporate multi-state operator. If you can get someone local in who you know, more power to you. So it's an interesting time, and I thank you very much for your consideration.
Jeff, thanks for your comments and your concern. And like I said, more to come on this in the future. Right now, this is the step we feel it's necessary to take. All right, thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Lefty, you were up next.
Okay. Yes, good evening. This is Edward Lefty Grimes. I'm with sativacross.org, 501c3, advocating for disabled rights and cannabis patients' rights. And I do want to speak about the wheelchair tax that you could get from this. That's what I'm calling it. Call it a cancer tax, call it a multiple sclerosis tax, call it whatever you want, but it's definitely a tax on patients. And we need your help because this tax is hurtful. They're not taxing every medicine. They're only taxing cannabis. They're not taxing your insulin or your heart medicine, or think of something that you need to live, and if they start taxing that or making it harder to get your medicine. And it's God's medicine. God put it here for a reason. We're not stigmatizing the synthetic cannabis at the pharmacies. We're not banning Marinol, are we? Are we banning dronabinol? Is that included in the ban? Because they sell synthetic man-made cannabis, marijuana, at the pharmacies. So there's a stigma against God's medicine. I got a big problem with that. Because we have to put the last first, and I think more towns should do that. And that includes wheelchair access. My friend Jeff Oakes used to take part with these meetings from his deathbed. And he literally was in his deathbed talking to you guys, not you guys specifically, but talking to councils about this stuff, about fighting for his rights, things that he needed. And what he advocated for was not home grow or wheelchair access. He didn't advocate for that. He advocated for compassion. And if we have compassion, the home grow, the wheelchair access, all that stuff will fall into place if we have compassion for the sick and the dying. There's too many times I see a lot of towns with no wheelchair access, and I'm like, man, they really could use that cannabis tax, but it's hurtful. That cannabis tax is hurtful to patients because we are suffering. We're on disability. We're in wheelchairs. We're hurting, and you're squeezing more blood from a stone that we don't have. We don't have this money. We're getting taxed 7% from the state, 2% from the towns, and then these dispensaries, they're overcharging us. Out in Oregon, you can get dollar pre-rolls. Here in New Jersey, it's $20, $30 pre-roll. A gram of wax in Oregon is $10. Here, it's $200. The other day, I visited my friend who's a disabled vet, and he's down in Long Beach Island, and he has no access down there at all. It's literally an hour ride for him to get any medicine, and he's been a patient for years. He used to jump out airplanes, and he's got a lot of injuries from jumping out of airplanes. Spine, neck, joints, and he also has PTSD from watching his friends killed in front of him. And all of that, he's been a patient, and now he's got cancer on top of that. Just found out he has cancer on top of all that. So I brought him some FICO oil, which you can't get in New Jersey. I had to get it from somewhere else myself. FICO is fully extract cannabis oil, and it's what's used to fight cancer. It's what Jeff Oakes used. When they gave Jeff Oakes 4 months to live, he was taking FICO. And he lived for 4 years because they didn't consider FICO in this treatment. They don't teach it in medical school. They're just starting now to teach this in medical school. In Temple and a few other universities are starting to have cannabis courses for doctors. And that's important because there's a stigma, such a stigma that we've got so far behind with our research and development. Israel is way in front of us. If you want to go to get education on cannabis, go to Israel. They've been doing this for years. They isolated THC in the 70s. They're way ahead of us. We have so much to learn and so far to go. And like I said, if we just have compassion, if we start with that, step one with compassion, I think we'll be okay. And I'll end it there. Thank you.
Lefty, thanks a lot. And certainly the message we heard loud and clear is the medical marijuana is a different thing from recreational marijuana. As we deliberate these as we go months from now, we'll certainly keep that in mind. Thanks for your comments and your concern. Thanks, Lefty. Anyone else like to address the council on this ordinance? Is there another? I don't see anybody else's hand up.
No, they put the hand down.
Okay. All right. If I don't see another person who wants to speak, I'm going to close. I'm going to ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Jack. A second. Thank you, Sean.
I'll move to adopt.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Move to adopt
1821.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Jim. Any comment from council? Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Albrecht,
Yes.
Councilman Carey,
Yes.
Councilman Crowley,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hall,
Yes.
Councilman Patillo,
Yes.
Councilman Riley,
Yes.
Mayor DiFilippo.
Yes. Thank you. Clearly a complicated subject, but I feel very confident we're taking the right first step. Next is 1921. Capital Ordinance of the Township of Roxbury in the County of Morris, New Jersey, authorizing the funding of the township's share of the cost of the fuel tank and fuel island upgrades at Roxbury Township Board of Education in, by, and for the township, appropriating therefore the sum of $90,000 and providing that such sum so appropriated from the township general capital fund balance. Can I have a motion to open to the public?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're open now to a public hearing on this ordinance. So if you have a comment on this ordinance.
Well, you can't get no weed here. 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 Keep your cancer home there. You can't get no weed. Barnegat, Berkeley, Bridgeton, Bridgewater, Brigantine, Carlsbad, Chatham, Clifton, Granbury, east of the Third, Amwood, Emerson, Fairhaven, Freehold, Garfield, Hasbrook Heights, Hawthorne, Loveland, Lodi, Jamesburg, Hazlitt, Mawai. You can't get no weed here. 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 Keep your cancer home, dear. You can't get no weed. Manville, Manhattan, Point Pleasant Beach, Haleton, Caldwell, Oakland, Oceanport, Bridgewood, Ringwood, Seaside, High, Seagirt, Shrewsbury, Sea, Colchester, Steady Spotswood, up the Freehold, Uncle Sally, Riverwall, and why? You can't get no weed here. 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 Keep your cancer home, dear. You can't get no weed. We Hook at West Caldwell, West Long Branch, Westwood, White Bluff, Woodcliff, Lake, Palisades Park, Palisades Park. There's no wheelchair access in Palisades Park.
Oh no.
You can't get no weed here. 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 Keep your wheelchairs home here, you can't get no weed. Chester, Franklin Lakes, Harding, Midland Park, Ramsey, Oldbridge, Oldta, Grand, Ramsden, Little Apple, Mound, Parsippany, Pleasantville, Saddlebrook, Brick, and you can say you can't get no weed here. 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 Keep your gander home here. You can't get no weed. You can't get no weed.
You can't get no weed. You can't get no weed here. 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 You can't get no Wow. Well, how about this one? How about this one? Let's try this one.
Wayne was in the van when he was stopped by the man. He was busted. Carol from Lodi was just getting high. She was busted. Ed from down south, he was running his mouth. The police came inside, they ransacked his house. All this because of a rat on the couch. It was busted. Well, Anthony in Summit had tinted glass. He was busted. Lefty in Linden, I was being an ass and I got busted. David in Keyport, they took all his stash. They took all his bongs, they took all his cash. Mike on the bike had his head beat and bashed. He was busted. Chris from Mapsecan, cops took her wheelchair. She was busted. Busted. She had a shit in a bucket. Cause the cops didn't care. She was busted. Busted. Jessie was growing some weed in her home. They took time and money while tapping her phone. They took away Jeremy, now Joanne's alone. They were busted. Okay, this is a good one. Sing along with me. I want you to sing along with me. Okay, this is fun. When Chucky was driving with a cracked windshield, the cops told him he couldn't yield. They asked him why his car smelled like skunk. Chuck says, I don't answer questions, punk. Chucky does dabs and he don't care. Chucky does blunts and he don't care. Chucky smokes pot, he don't care. The law has got to change. When Mikey was riding on his Huffy, the cops beat him red and puffy. They said you should have bought a Schwinn. Now we have to take you in. Mikey does dabs and he don't care. Mikey rolls blunts and he don't care. Mikey smokes pot, he don't care. The law has got to change. When Jeff was in the hospital sick, the head nurse, she was such a dick. She took away his evening grass, gave it back and felt like an ass. Jeff does dabs and he don't care. Jeff rolls blunts and he don't care. smokes pot and he don't care. The law has got to change.
First note. All right. Let's try this one. This should be fun. I'm going to do something really weird now. Oh boy. Oh, I got gas. I got gas. Oh, it was a hot dog burp too. Oh, God, it stinks. Sorry.
I'm gonna take my weed back to Curaleaf. I wanna cry, 'cause my weed's so dry. Take my weed back to Curaleaf. I wanna cry, 'cause my weed's so dry. Got plants in my bags and
The place really bad, unfortunate and sad. It smells worse than swag, like the hay you feed a horse. It's overpriced, of course. I spend all my money purchasing remorse.
Curaleaf will sell you something, but you won't feel nothing. Curaleaf will sell you something, but you won't feel nothing.
The rat is a disaster, no way to make it faster. Right over an hour to get that shitty flower. My life is trueless, smoking bombs and doobies. Staying high throughout the day, feeling really groovy.
Curaleaf will sell you something, but you won't feel nothing. Curaleaf will sell you something, but you won't feel nothing. I'm gonna take my weed back to Curaleaf. I wanna cry, 'cause my weed's so dry. Gonna take my weed back to Curaleaf. I wanna...
Uh-oh, Jeff speaking again? What? Really?
Really?
Lefty, are you there?
Yes, I'm right here. Yes. Is this open public comment?
I know you like it when they go to executive session.
Oh, wow. They went to I love when towns leave their chat and their room open, like the open public should be. It's just an open public meeting. We get to chat now. This is great. I was singing a song. I was just singing songs on the podcast. I did the podcast live while I did this thing here. So, yeah, if you guys want to watch yourselves live with funny voices and pot leaves all over your shirts, yeah, come watch my podcast. I didn't even realize that I could put pot leaves on everyone's shirts, but when I have my green screen on and I'm filming them, for whatever reason, it shows up on my podcast as the green screen. Every green thing in their room is a pot leaf. So it's kind of funny, and I'm putting the Alvin and the Chipmunk voice on everyone. So that's always fun. So we're having a good time here.
Last night, my girlfriend's like, I thought you were listening to a Zoom meeting. What is that? I'm like, I don't know, man. Long story.
Is that a Zoom meeting or a comedy show? Well, it's both.
That thing went on and on and on.
Yeah, I was getting bored, so I started playing with the effects, and I was like, okay, put me to sleep. I was like, but in the Alvin and the Chipmunk voice, it's actually funny. So this is a good meeting. There were some good meetings tonight. I'm going to Bayonne tomorrow. I'm going to talk in Bayonne about how people in wheelchairs in the school system are fire hazards, because Bayonne has very poor wheelchair access to the schools. Bayonne High School has one wheelchair ramp to the entire school, so anyone in the auditorium of Bayonne High School in a wheelchair is a fire hazard. That's crazy.
That is.
Yeah,
it's
and it's funny because I had never stepped foot in Bayonne High School till recently, and I was born in Bayonne. I'd never been to Bayonne High School. I went to Metuchen.
You would think you could get grant money from the federal, state, every government that would want to fix that.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, all through Bayonne and Hudson County, you see this problem where there's steps everywhere. Union City's even worse. And I'm hoping Senator Stack does something statewide with that. For every business that has a step, well, first of all, any new business opening up with a step has to have it fixed. Any old business that's grandfathered in, they should have incentives to fix it. Partners with the state to go in halves and fix their access. I mean, they make beautiful sidewalks in some of these towns. Beautiful cobblestone sidewalks, beautiful patterns and designs. And then you see an ugly step to a pharmacy. It's like, wait a minute. A pharmacy with a step? Like, wait a minute. You have one job. You have one job. And you can't take Medicare if you have no wheelchair access to a pharmacy. They can't take Medicare. I'm sorry, or Medicaid. No, Medicare. The state one. I'm sorry, the federal one. Which is Medicare, I believe. Oh, this is great. So nobody else is there to take part? No, they're just listening. They're like, hey, listen to these guys. Look at these guys.
I'm in here.
Hey, Joanne, there you are. What's up? How are you? This is great.
I tried to make the meeting, but I was at the assemblyman chair thing, and I couldn't find the link for a while, but I didn't realize you guys can link it right in there. That was pretty cool. On the event page.
Yeah. If it's correct, I have to check it because a lot of times it changes.
Yeah, it worked.
So for a town that banned,
I don't know what happened. I guess.
Yeah. No,
I was gonna say I didn't know what happened with your other one, the Tewksbury one.
I don't know. It's funny.
I was watching your other video though about trying to get the access. To keep the online access. It's crazy.
No, they can't do it now. Now all of a sudden they can't do it. They forgot how to do it now. They're like, there's no mandate. We don't have to do that anymore. Like, well, what about the people that are in wheelchairs that can't make your meeting now? They're like, oh, well, status quo. Oh, status quo, just like it's always been. Really? No. We're not going quietly back into our halls. We're not going quietly. No, not this time. You gave us for 14 months. You gave us all the stuff we've been asking for years, and now you're going to take it away? No. Mm-mm.
That one lady on the Camerano show, in public only. I wanted to pull my hair out every time she said it.
Oh.
In person only.
Yeah.
I think she said it about 20 times.
Yeah, I get it. In person only, but unless you're in a wheelchair, then you can't come.
Well, no, yeah, I know. She seemed like she was being obnoxious about it.
Yeah. That was a really good show. We actually called 2 businesses that were using their handicap parking spot to park their work trucks. So we called up. Yeah, so we called them up and we said, listen, you shouldn't park there. So the one guy's like, well, just call me and I'll move it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Call him every day.
So I have to call you because you're holding my spot for me? Is that how it works now? Do I have to tip you also? Give you a tip?
Yeah, well, that's this other thing with you can get cannabis delivered if your town doesn't have it, but that costs more, as if it doesn't cost enough as it is.
Some of these towns are saying you can get weed in Hackettstown, you can get weed from the doctor's offices. No, you can't. These towns are passing ordinances based on faulty information, bad intel, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, that's why it's so important what you guys do.
So out of all the towns,
they may change their mind in a couple months or whatever. It's still important to educate.
Well, of all the towns that are banning it, this is one of the nicer ones. I think they're going to come around in Roxbury. I think the writing's on the wall, as they say in the Bible. That's a biblical term, writings on the wall. That's from the Bible, in case you didn't know that.
Mm.
All those Bible dudes had such good beard games. Really. Look at Nebuchadnezzar and all those guys. They had some serious beard game, man. Good stuff. I'm working on mine. Oh, wait, you can't see my beard game. Can I unmute my video? Yes. Yeah, see, I'm all set for my podcast. I'm doing a podcast. I was actually singing songs just now. I can't do that for you guys here because you wouldn't hear the music properly.
Yeah, I saw. It's funny in the meeting. You can see you singing in the background.
What's Lefty doing? We're doing a show. You're part of the show now. because you can't get this video from them. If you, sometimes they have the video like this, but a lot of times you'll just see the speaker. You won't see everybody. I like to see everybody sometimes. I want to see the gallery. If you Oprah request it, sometimes you won't get that in the Oprah request. So, okay, so I'm doing my wheelchair video in Bayonne.
I don't know where to get it.
This is great. I was doing my wheelchair video in Bayonne. And I'm doing my laps in the crosswalk where it says stop for pedestrians and making cars stop, helping old ladies across the street, helping pedestrians across the street. And so the cops come as usual. Cops come. And I said, why don't you hang out 5 minutes, write a couple of tickets because nobody's stopping today. So sure enough, he parked over there. Officer Ponick, he parked. And he got a ticket for somebody. He got a ticket for a lady who almost hit me. And she apologized to me. So when he came back, he said, yeah, Lefty, I got it on my camera. Wink, wink. Like telling me to Oprah request his body cam footage so that,
Wow.
I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Officer Ponick, you rock, man. I will definitely Oprah request that and show that because she apologized for running the crosswalk and the stop sign, which is nice because, it's all about creating awareness. You're ignorant until you're not. I can't really get mad because I was ignorant to a lot of stuff in my life. And once I became unignorant to it, I'm like, oh, well, I won't do that anymore, and I'm just doing it a different way now. When I go through that intersection in Bayonne on 49th and C, I go slow. I make sure I'm looking for anybody who's even thinking about crossing. I'm like, well, because people are doing 50 miles an hour. I almost got hit last week. A guy was doing 50, speeding up in a big truck. And I was in front of him. He actually went around me. And if I would have kept going, he would have hit me. So I'm like, okay, that would have been bad. Because I can almost get hit. But I can see how I can see people's eyes. I can see if they're distracted. This guy was coming for me. He was out. He was like, get out of my way, you masked El Rampador person. So tomorrow I'm going to the Bayonne Council meeting as El Rampador. I'll be wearing the mask. And yelling about Mrs. Fields because they allowed a Mrs. Fields to be open in Bayonne with no wheelchair access.
Yeah, I saw that.
Are you kidding me? A Mrs. Fields. So we called the corporate office. Nobody got back to us. We called the local office. They're like, no, we have no wheelchair access. No. I'm like, well, what about people that want to work there? He's like, oh, I have to think about that. Let me ask somebody smarter.
Yeah.
They closed the street down for Mrs. Fields in Bayonne to put that whole monstrosity in. With no wheelchair access. Beautiful step. It's a great step, but, if you like steps. If that's your thing.
So let me ask you, I missed this meeting, but is this a hybrid meeting where some of them are on in the town hall and then some are on from wherever?
Yeah, they have the entire committee in the town hall now. And then the hybrid would be us participating in it, yeah.
Oh, so
very
I mean,
cool.
I guess it's possible for a lot of places.
Yeah, you guys would really like what Eaton's doing. They're all gung ho on going hybrid because they are so happy with the increased participation. They don't want to go back. I think that's kind of a model for what we're for.
Sometimes
it's just
encourage
pure
it.
luck that our mayor is pretty good like that.
Yeah, they encourage it in some towns, and sometimes they discourage it. They don't want to hear from you.
Well, yeah, they got a lot of secret business to handle.
But towns like Roxbury, where they open this stuff up like this, yeah, this is open transparency. The chat is open. The whole thing is open here. I could chat everyone in. I could see everyone. This is how it should be. This is open public meeting. This is how it is. And I respect this very much.
Nice.
You don't know what's in here.
Did you guys give away a peek on Thursday?
No,
I missed that part.
Next week.
Oh, nice.
Next week. And we want to open it up to patients. Chris Amata says people want to participate remotely. And I said, you know what? You got me. You got me in the feels. You got me. You're using my own words against me. So people that are in wheelchairs or people that are disabled want to participate remotely. We'll give them a raffle ticket for next week. We're going to give out tickets tomorrow for the peak. So yeah, for patients.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so if you're a patient, you want to participate, we'll pull off a ticket for you. We'll give you your number, and we'll hold your ticket. We'll figure it out, and we'll do it that way. We want people to participate.
That's for the State House?
State House next week. Yeah.
For some reason I thought it was this last week.
No, there's something this week at the State House with Reverend Boyer this week.
Yeah. And the war on drugs.
Yeah, I'd like to collaborate with him because, if he wants to go to the State House, hey, we do the State House. Let's do the State House together. I might go Thursday to support him and to actually talk to him about the stigma of church and cannabis, because I love Pastor Tim from Liquid. I think he's the best. 100,000%. The problem is, okay, he's very progressive, very liberal. He actually reached out to the LGBTQ community as a pastor and said, listen, I want to be able to minister to you guys better. I'd like to talk to you and have a meeting over coffee with you to find out how we have a different biblical view on marriage. However, I still want to minister to you and find better ways to do that. So he had a meeting with all the LGBTQ people in the church, and to destigmatize them. And I thought that was great. I think that I am totally fine with that. However, they make a lot of jokes about cannabis, about being, biblically stoned, not New Jersey stoned. He makes a lot of jokes. Last week he said something about there's children addicted to THC, and this week Pastor Kyra talked about pod, and I'm like, it's like I had no problem with him destigmatizing the gay community. I thought that was fine, and it goes against scripture and everything. But he's doing it to destigmatize them, and I get it. Why are sick people with cancer that are suffering, that are using God's medicine, stigmatized in church?
Yeah,
totally.
And the thing with young people is it's education. You can't, and stigmatizing it is kind of anti-educational.
So Charles Boyer is totally for cannabis. So I want to know how he does it, how he ministers to other prohibitionist preachers, I'll call them for now, lack of a better word. That's a
I think it was that whole church. I forgot the name of the church group, but they're in multiple cities in the state, but it's a few of them actually that I have been doing the work, but he's come out he wants to end the war on all drugs. So
good, they should.
Yeah.
Why do we pick and choose what pharmaceutical drugs or street drugs, or it's all drugs?
Did you see the article with the police officer got fired for CBD?
Oh, geez.
Article I posted today.
What town?
Let me see.
Ocean City. Avalon.
Mattawan.
What? No.
Mattawan.
Oh, Mattawan. I was like, wow. I guess that my second try out of 500 something cities. Okay, Mattawan. Wow, Mattawan.
Yeah, he said he supported a coworker's sex discrimination claim, and then they fired him over CBD.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So hurtful. That's why cops need their cannabis cards.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, how as cannabis medicine, gets bigger.
It's a don't ask, don't tell policy now, I believe. And in Hudson County, there was that town that allows their cops to use it. As far as
when we were with when we were with Chris in his town, the police officer, he was saying, he's also I think he's in the Army National Guard or whatever, and he said he can't use it for that, but he's not for, he doesn't like it himself, but he's not against other police officers using it. And we suggested, that there's possible towns that do allow it, but I think he said they don't allow it there. So
you got to keep it quiet because there's an issue with having a firearm. But it's okay to use OxyContin and Xanax, though, with a firearm. And that's the whole federally legal thing. That's when the whole prescription versus recommendation comes into play. You got a lot of layers to this onion that they have to work on. But the federal issue has to be fixed.
Yeah. Amen.
Do we see that in the future, do you think?
Well, my other thing with federal is that it opens the doors for more of the larger, more, corporations with the money to proliferate. So I don't know, because it's a decriminalization and a descheduling. I don't think it's an actual legalization. They can't really they can't really do that. So that's why the states having their guidelines for social equity is so important, before that even happens.
Okay, so what does that mean? The guidelines for, I always ask, what guidelines are they looking for? What are the guidelines for social equity? How many minority business owners are going to be? How many vet business owners, women business owners? Is that the case?
In New Jersey, that's what it seems to be. Yeah.
So they're going to come up with a number.
Diana Waynu actually kind of answered that in the meeting earlier. She didn't say, but she said that they don't know, but they do. The only thing they really know is that the growers are the large scale growers are capped at 30 or 37. But
what should the CRC have done differently or better so that these towns have had more education on this?
Well, they seem to be doing. They seem to have pretty open communications, and the League of Municipalities offering that advice was, that was one question I meant to ask tonight. In that thing is, what are towns afraid of that the CRC is going to do to them? Like, could they possibly
the league needs to
they don't want
update. If the League of Municipalities needs to come up with at least a checklist of basic concerns, basic considerations, like they've given nothing, and they're not even going to update that as we learn more. They don't even have like a framework that you can work off of. This is the thing with Asbury Park. How do you not have a little bit of idea of where you would like to zone it? I don't understand. 85% are yes, and they didn't even think about where they want it.
I love when towns say, well, they voted to legalize it, but that doesn't mean they want it in their town. So we voted to legalize it, but we want to make it hard to get. Why would we want that? It doesn't make sense.
The mayor of Asbury is concerned that if there's a lounge, then how are we going to drive home from this place? We're not all going to Uber in and out. Well, they do have a train station there actually, but I mean, he was for cannabis legalization, but not for lounges. Like, Asbury Park has alcohol all over the place. How do they get home with that?
Yeah, it's called personal responsibility. And they always ask, how do you tell if someone's stoned if they're driving? Well, if they're driving on the other side of the road, or if they're weaving or on the line or making a turn without a signal, yeah, you pull them over like you would pull over anybody else. And you do the test on them. If they fail the test, boom, you fail, you DUI.
But Asbury is a resort. Like, you have hotels. Like, people aren't leaving.
That's right.
What are you're going to deny them cannabis, but let them get wasted on booze?
Yeah, people drink in the street now because of the tent rule. You can drink in a tent on the street, so things have changed.
No, Asbury knows that everybody wants in, so they're just playing hard to get. They're just going to milk it for more money.
Well,
One of the questions tonight in that group about Bayonne was that the I guess the fee that they added in on themselves, and I think Janice Kovich, the League of Municipalities, she was saying that she doesn't see that happening, and the CRC would definitely have to look at that.
oh, of the fee, really?
Yeah.
Oh, unconstitutional.
This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, everybody. We're back. We will be charging you for the Zoom call you were using while we were.
Thanks for the freebie.
Anytime. That's the way Roxbury rolls. Can I have a motion to return?
I'll make that motion.
Close the executive session. Who made the motion?
I
Jackie, Tom, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're back in regular session now. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Sean. Roll call, please. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. And thanks, everybody, for you guys hanging out and waiting for us.
Looking forward to seeing everybody next time.
All right. Well, next time we'll have, the public will be here live. We're excited. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Don't everybody.
Oh, they ended the meeting. I was hoping they would leave the meeting open. How cool would that have been if they left it open? Just say, yeah, go, have at it, boys and girls, have at it. You can use our free meeting. Have your own meeting. Some towns have open meetings like that. A couple of I've seen that actually, a couple. But yeah, that's how the town meeting should be: open, public. Everything's open. The chat's open. They go to executive session. They leave everything open. We could still talk, chat, whatever. That's an open meeting. That's how it should be. That's taking part. That's when you're talking about taking part, when you have sick people that can't take part, and that's their only way to take part. Well, that's pretty good. That's one of the best I've seen. That probably is the best. That's the best. That's everything open. That's 100% open, 100% compassion, 100% transparent. So, yeah, Roxbury. Of all the towns that banned it, I actually have hope for this town of Roxbury. And we need a dispensary up here. We don't have one, so we need one. And a medical one would be perfect up in Roxbury. I need to go jar shopping. Actually, I should probably go jar shopping this week. All right, where is everybody? Uh-oh. I lost it. Shoot, hold on. Okay. Oh, was I still singing a song? I was interrupted before. Do one more song. All right. This is a good one. Let me find it. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on. I may have a hard time finding this one. I think this is it.
Smoking marijuana's the American way. I smoke about an ounce of weed a day. Don't care what the government has to say. Thank God for cannabis. Marijuana coming round the bend. Pass it over to me again. It's fun to share it with your friend. Thank God for cannabis. Grow it in the house and you grow it in the field. Treat your plants well and you get a good deal. Pay the cap money and you bit that shield. Thank God for cannabis. No one competes with the U.S. green, the best damn bud that I've ever seen. It smells so good and tastes so clean. Thank God for cannabis. Cancer patient gets quite a lift when they can smoke on a big fat spliff. Give 10% as a friendly gift. Thank God for cannabis. You grow it in the house and you grow it in the field. Treat your plants well and you get a good deal. Pay the cap money and you get that shield. Thank God for cannabis. Bong, bong, big, big bong.
Bong, big, big bong.
Bong, bong, big, big bong.
Bong, bong, bong. Bong, bong, big, big bong. Bong, bong, big, big bong. Bong, bong, big, big bong. Bong, bong, bong.
ball. Smoking marijuana's the American way. I smoke about an ounce of weed a day. Don't care what the government has to say. Thank God for cannabis. Marijuana coming round the bend. Pass it over to me again. It's fun to share it with your friend. Thank God for cannabis. Grow it in a house, grow it in the field. Treat your plants well and you get a good yield. Pay the cop money and you get that shield. Thank God for cannabis. Everybody now.
Bong, bong, big bong, 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 big bong, 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 big bong, 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 big bong, 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 big bong, 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 big bong, 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 bong.
No one competes with the U.S. Green, the best damn bud that I've ever
seen.
Smells so good and tastes so clean. Thank God for cannabis. A cancer patient gets quite a lift when they can smoke on a big fat spliff. Give 10% as a friendly gift.
Thank God for cannabis. Grow it in the house and you grow it in the field. Treat your plants well and you get a good deal. Pay the cop money and you get that shield. Yeah.
How high's your papa, mama? 20 feet high and rising. How high is your papa, mama? 20 feet high and rising. Got my dabs, big fat slabs. We got so high we all called cabs. I sent my cannabis to the labs. 20 feet high and rising. How high is your papa, mama? 30 feet high and rising. How high is your papa, mama? 30 feet high and rising. What you need? I got some weed. I got the clones, I got the seeds. Smoke cannabis and don't do speed. 30 feet high and rising. How high is your papa, mama? 40 feet high and rising. How high is your papa, mama? 40 feet high and rising. Cheech and Chong and an 8-foot moon. Makes us right. I really fucked up. 40 feet high and rising. Whoops. How high is your papa, mama? 50 feet high and rising. How high is your papa, mama? 50 feet high and rising. My bong is full, tastes wonderful. Pull up a chair and take a pull. The lemon terps are really flavorful. But 50 feet high and rising. Well, it's 50 feet high and rising.
Okay, last one. Last one. Oh, shit. I'm not ready. No, this is not it. No, this is not it. It's 40 below, I don't give a fuck. Got a doobie in my truck, get an off of the ATC. No, this is not the song I want to hear. No. Where is it? I think I lost it. I thought I hit that. I pressed the button. It didn't. Oh my goodness. Well, here it is.
We'll try it again. All right, we'll try it again. We'll get it right this time. Well, let's get it right. Come on, stop. Let's try it again now. Last song. Come on, sing along with me. Well, it's 40 below, and I don't give a fuck. Got a doobie in my truck, and I'm off to the ATC. It's pass to the left, take from the right. Come on, you fucking dummy, don't pass to the right. Get out of the circle, you fuck the rotation again. You piss me off, you fucking jerk. Get on my nerves. Well, here comes Johnny with a bong in his hand. He's a one-tap man, he's off to the ATC. It's pass to the left, take from the right. Come on, you fucking dummy, don't pass to the right. Get out of the circle, you knock the hand off again. You piss me off, you fucking jerk. Get on my nerves.
Bong, 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 bong. Bong, 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 bong. Bong, 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 bong. Bong, 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 bong.
It's hot as hell, I don't give a shit. Got my doobie all lit, and I'm off to the ATC. It's pass to the left, take from the right. Come on, you fucking dummy, don't pass to the right. Get out of the circle, you rip the joint in half. You piss me off, you fucking jerk. Get on my nerves. Well, here comes Billy with a blunt in his mouth. He's down for south, down for the ATC. It's pass to the left, take for the right. Come on, you fucking dummy, don't pass to the right. Get out of the circle, you fuck the rotation again. You piss me off, you fucking jerk. Get on my nerves. I'm breaking up buds in the hot sun. The bong fought the law and the bong won. The bong fought the law and the bong won. I needed fecal cause I had none. Bong fought the law and the bong won. Bong fought the law and the bong won. I left my bong and it feels so bad. I guess my bowl is cashed. Bong Julio's the best bong for my hash. Bong fought the law and the bong won. Bong fought the law and the bong won.
Bong, 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 bong.
I'm dabbing 3 people, filling 6 lungs. Bong fought the law and the bong won. Bong fought the law and the bong won. I lost my bong and I lost my fun. Bong fought the law and the bong won. Bong fought the law and the bong won. I left my bong and it feels so bad. I guess my bowl is cashed. Bong Julio's the best bong for my hash. Bong fought the law and the bong won. Bong fought the law and the bong won. Thanks for tuning in. Good meeting tonight. I'm going to Bayonne tomorrow. There's other meetings tomorrow. You can go take part. I'll be in Bayonne to talk about Mrs. Fields. So everybody, have a wonderful night. BYOB in Mattawan. Bring your own axe. Do you have to bring your own axe? No, of course not. All right.
There we go. Fix that. All right. So we'll see you tomorrow. Be back with more activism for your active ass. Thank you. Good night, everybody. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old. They shall grow not old. They shall grow not old. Smoke in the air for everybody. If you're listening to this, put some smoke in the air for our friends and for the 1 out of 10 patients that are gonna die this year. 1 out of 10 of us go every year. We went with bongs to the battle. Can I do my own poetic license with that? We went with bongs to the battle. Now, because we did go with songs, and the songs, you just heard them. And that song is actually in some of their heads. I think we made a difference in quite a few towns. We created a lot of awareness, and we did it our way. We fought, and we fell with our faces to the foe. We fought and we died fighting. People in our group died. So yeah, what is the meaning? What is this test for? Is this a boot camp for the soul? Is that why we're here for this 80 to 100 years? Or who knows, maybe we are infinite creatures and we're not going to die. Maybe we don't know if we're dead. Maybe we're just going to keep living on. Won't even realize it. Maybe everybody else will think you're dead, but you won't be dead. Your soul will be alive. So yeah, a lot to ponder when you fight for God. I believe this is a spiritual battle that we're in here. So that's why I try hard to not curse at these ignorant motorists, and I try not to go crazy, and I try to forgive people over and over and over and over and over, 70 times, 7 times. I try to forgive people. And it's not easy, man. It's not easy. It's tough. It's actually very hard. But, I had to forgive people I would never think to forgive. Because cancel culture is not forgiveness. If you forgive somebody, then just cancel them out of your life, well, you really didn't forgive them. You really didn't reconcile. Not to say that, if you're having an ex-wife or ex-husband, you have to reconcile with them, but certainly you don't have to be hateful and hurtful to each other, and respectful and kind. That's what we all need. We all need what Jeff was teaching us about compassion. Very simple lesson, compassion, and all this other stuff will happen. The wheelchair access will happen. The home grow will happen. The insurance covering our medicine will happen. The federal issues will happen. But in New Jersey, there's a lot of corruption, a lot of BS. And I'm not saying this about Roxbury, but I think that some of these towns that are banning it, they're going to ask for a little payola. You want a cannabis business in my town, down the shore? You want beachfront? I'll give you some beachfront dispensary property, but you got to pay to play. New Jersey, son. So you're a big dispensary from Canada. Come on over. I got a nice beachfront property for you right here in Ocean City where it's banned, but I'll let you in for a price. I'll let you in. Give me some money in a paper bag. We good. Hey, Mark. How are you, buddy? Are you my brother or my cousin, Mark Grimes? All right, one more. Smoke in the air for our friends. Smoke in the air for Jeff Oakes. Smoke in the air for Cheryl Miller. Smoke in the air for Roger Barber. Smoke in the air for Marley. Smoke in the air for everybody on that list, that very hurtful list. Terry, all of our friends. Such a hurtful list. And it's long. I don't want to add more names to it. But 1 out of 10 of us. 1 out of 10. So smoke in the air for those. Come on, find some smoke. Come on, you got some smoke in there. It's recreationally legal in Jersey. Everybody has some roach or something. This is for your friends. This is for Jeff. This is for whoever you want to put smoke in the air for. Let's put some smoke in the air. Hashtag they shall grow. Hashtag Jeff's law. Hashtag ignorance is no excuse. Hashtag let patients grow. And please go to sativacross.org. We're going to be updating the website. We have a huge event next week at the State House. We're giving away a peak. Run New Jersey's in the house. We got free food. Everything's free. Free podcast. Free everything. Everything's free next week. And if you're a patient and you want to take part in the raffle, let me know on the podcast Thursday. And we'll start taking names and numbers, and we'll figure this thing out, how you can participate remotely. Because you know what? Here I am talking about participating remotely. Chris Almada says, hey, Lefty, we have to figure out how to let patients participate remotely. I'm like, ooh, you got me. You got me. Yeah, I'm glad you said it, Chris. Thank you, Chris, for saying that, because you know what? It wouldn't have happened unless you had said that. So that's a great idea, because I want to open it to patients only, and I want to have it at the State House to bring people out to the State House. That's the whole point, is to get people involved. So if you're home, you can take part from your home, but you definitely have to be watching live to participate. You have to call in, or we have to call you. Maybe, all right, that'll be part of the rules, where you have to call in. You have to call in, or at least chat with us, or somehow make it known that you have the number. So that'll be interesting. Okay, we'll figure this out. We'll make it fun. And thank you, Mark, for loving what I do, and I appreciate you taking part and watching. You watched Roxbury. I don't know if you watched the whole meeting, but it was an interesting meeting. Roxbury is banning it, but they're one of the nicer towns to ever ban medicine for sick and dying people. Just saying. Hashtag whatever you want. They went with bongs and songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.